I'm creating this video to update everyone on what I have been up to over these last few months. Actually, it's been around 11 months. I also wanted to record this video for anyone who is going through a similar experience that I have been through. And if I can help, that would be great. I learned so much about myself during this period, and I am forever grateful for the experiences that I have gone through, and they have certainly made me a better person. I just feel that I owe it to my audience to provide some context as to my absence on social media. Well, about 18 months ago, I resigned from my position as CEO of Remax Malta. This was somewhat a strategic move from my end. However, it came much faster than I ever expected. 25 years of running a company that I built, all of a sudden, I ended up in a complete supporting role. I am a doer, thinker, strategist, and an executor. And all I've done for 25 years is dedicate my life to this business. And this has been also to the detriment of my family and many other responsibilities. It was time to change, I must say, and I admit. However, though my mind was made up, my heart was not. So we can say it did not go down as well as I would have loved it to or wished to. And I took it seriously to heart. There's something with building and growing a business you can compare to growing up a child and then having to let go. It felt like a loss, so to speak, for me. And though I knew that the company was in good hands, it did really hit me hard. Succession planning is definitely a key element to running a business, and it should be dealt appropriately. And though we did, it hurt, and I completely went down a very, 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 very long and deep black hole. So I'm going to give you a little intro into my experiences and my business, the successes, the failures, and basically what the most challenging parts and the most satisfying parts of my career so far. I'm also going to give you an update on what I'm doing now, because you will find out, but I am no longer with Remax. I think most importantly, this video is to help people that are going through a similar change that I did and how to overcome some specific challenges. So I'm going to give you a quick intro into my career so you can understand the context of what I've done, how I've dedicated my life to my business, and then I'm going to go through a number of different key, so to speak, topic. My heartbreak syndrome, creating the change in Remax, what we went through with COVID, moving on, almost losing everything that I built and what was most important to me. And now it's new beginnings. So like I said, sometimes life swings at you and you just have to take it as a sign to move forward in life. I spent many years in a very good place running my business. I was the COO for 15 years, and then I took over the CE role for 5 years. I worked in every possible role in the company, and I'm grateful because I learned from being an agent to being a manager to being a multi-office owner. But I also, in the meantime, I had to learn IT. I created 2 softwares. One is internationally recognized. I loved developing training programs for agents and getting my hands dirty in the actually development of agents. And my background is marketing. So the brand Remax in Malta, we brought it in as a new brand and we built it from scratch. And I was there from the infancy and basically built several campaigns to bring it to what it is today. So I think that really gives a good sort of encompasses what I've done. My role as CEO was to change the culture of the company. We were a highly competitive, infighting business and wanted to change it to an inclusive group ready to play together and work for the same goals. This is what happens when a company grows so fast that at times you don't understand the staff, the processes that you need to implement, and you learn along the way. So we did grow very fast. At one point, we had to restructure the whole business. So this was my role. So the president of Remax Europe once told me, Jeff, if you don't change something, you will continue to always achieve the same results. Start changing things and you will start seeing change until the stars align again. And this got me thinking, and it truly inspired me. Imagine we built this company and we were the fastest growing company for, let's say, 10 years. It was built on stencils. We created a foundation and we thought it was unbreakable until egos and success got in the way of the people that surrounded us. The process of change entailed several meetings, strategy groups, focus groups. We had business consultants. We really dug deep with agents and we made sure that they were involved in the process. So we did like a top 25 agent focus group, and then we did a middle agent focus group. Then we sent out surveys to understand what they are seeing and feeling within the company and asking them questions like, how can we improve? What can we do? So strategy groups, inclusiveness, and bringing into the fold expertise from the inside, people that understood certain aspects of running a business was key to creating change. It also created a sense of urgency, and we pushed that urgency because we communicated to our team, all our teams, and said, hey, we're having divisions here. We're getting too competitive. Why aren't we working together? Why aren't we conquering the outside world? Our strategy has always been of quality over quantity. The same reason why Remax is the largest and most successful real estate company in the world, and that is by volume and by transactions. They don't have the most agents in the world, but it is statistically they sell 1.8 more than the competition worldwide. So we had enough of franchise owners stealing agents from other Remax offices when there are hundreds of agents outside as competitors. Why would you do it? We had at one point one franchise owner putting price tags on agents, even to just get the agent for an interview. And at one stage, one of our franchise owners, he even asked in a board meeting, can we create a transfer window, just like in the Premier League, where an agent would move to another office to the highest bidder. So, and this became, it hurt us, and we realized that change needs to definitely be done, and the quicker the better, because the future of the brand is at stake. And we truly focused on creating this change, and it went on for about 18 months. And our motto was, if Remax motto was to stay strong, we needed to get rid of these mercenaries that were continuously biting at our agents' feet, selling themselves. And so this is what we did. Unfortunately, when you are creating change in an organization, there will always be some casualties. People that will not budge their way of thinking, or, so to speak, strategy. And we knew that at some point we'll have to let people go. So we started our journey or strategy in 2019, halfway or almost at the final stages of the change process, COVID hit. And although this brought us together, it accelerated the departure of certain offices. During COVID, we banded together. We delivered 60 webinars during the first shutdown when all of Malta was closed. We invited several international guests to speak to our agents. So during the lockdown, and when the lockdown was over, our agents would leave the pits running. Obviously, virtual viewings and online meetings became a norm. And during the first 2 months after the lockdown was lifted, we created record sales thanks to the resilience we built around the whole company. When we saw other companies just crying and complaining and saying there's no business, we were always active in building that resilience and just pushing our agents to be the best they can and to keep to be patient and resilient, I guess. So, and it worked fabulously. So our next predicament was how to make up sales for the offices that left us. At one point during the lockdown, we had a bit less than 100 agents leave us. Of course, it was worrying, but we turned to technology. Great tool. I love technology, and we had our own. We still have, and they have now, state of the art custom built CRM. And we decided to gamify the system that we built, and we started recognizing agents that were doing the grind work. So we created something that we call the golden circle. And what we did is we recognized 32 agents that were doing a lot of activity on our system, doing marketing, updating the database, and these small items or activities, if you want to call them, they create a lot of conversations. They create opportunities for agents. And since we were recognizing these agents for delivering this high performance, they were able to find properties available. They were able to sell more. And basically what happened was we had a lot of the agents that maybe did not sell the most during the year, but were medium salespeople, but did a lot of work during the year and contributed a lot to the highly successful agents that sell more. Because you have to understand, in our open market, which is what we call it here in Malta, properties are available in most agencies. There are exclusive listings, but this is usually between 8 and 9% of the database. So 90% of the database is open to all estate agencies. So the game in Malta is you need to update the properties quicker, and the more you update the properties, the more availability you find, the more you build relationships with owners, and therefore we created a lot of activity. Activity boosted about 800% from what they used to do, because our system tracks every touch and every movement that an agent does. And what happened was, from an average of 1,550,000 per agent, which was selling on average, we increased that to a bit over 2 million, which, if you calculate the actual performance increase, was about 60% increase in performance. And obviously we ended up making up for what we actually lost from the agents that left us. So this was quite a huge success for the company. Put you in context now, I have moved on from Remax. The company is in great hands. We have a great CEO now. The teams are working, and I'm seeing a lot of progress in the business, and that makes me truly proud. I just want to speak a bit about the decision about moving on, because there are quite a few rumors. First of all, the decision, all the whole time, was my decision. People are speculating about my relationship with my family, my brother in particular, and we agreed as partners to separate ourselves from the business, and we also had help from consultants and even outside people to us move on from the business. My brother is now at the helm. The CEO is running it. My brother is the chairman, and they're doing great. And I'm entirely happy for what's going on there. I just wanted to quash any judgmental people, let's say, that look at us, as brothers, and we did fight, and just like any partners fight. And if you have a partner, I'm sure you argue with them. When it comes to family, yes, it does maybe get a lot more heated. Maybe things fly. Like my brother once threw a laptop at me. I threw a shelf at him. So these things happen. And in business, sometimes when you're in family, emotions take over. And I just wanted to clear the judgmental and the people talking out there that the decision was mine. The decision was also my brother's, and it has been maturely dealt with, and we are both very happy, and the family is doing great. This is a bit of a, I don't know how to say, a sore subject. So the decision I made came as a toll. I left the company with lots of energy and only to find myself dealing with depression. If anyone out there knows what depression is like, it hits you when you don't even realize. And there were days I couldn't see anybody. I took my wife for granted, my parents. I started to sleep in. I was eating a lot. Then I would get maybe a boost of energy, find myself yet again in a shitty position. I started treatment for alcohol and depression, weekly sessions with different therapists, monthly with the psychiatrist. But I continued to hit rock bottom. I was taking lots of pills, and after 5 months, after I got married in February, my wife left me. She was right to leave me because I was the same person I was, and even the person I was maybe not the person that I could much better. I just say I totally ignored her needs, and I only gave her one choice, and that was to leave me. So I spent, and in an immature way, hurting myself, drinking for months after months. And one day, after damaging myself, my health, trying to win back my wife when I was drunk, or sending her messages in the middle of the night, being an idiot, let's say, I decided to throw away the pills. I reflected a hell of a lot during this time. I started focusing on my health. I started walking daily, started reading about how to improve myself, trying to understand where I neglected my wife, my kids. Practically my whole world came falling down, and I knew that I wanted to basically win back my life and even improve it even more. So I worked hard. I did crazy things, like I wrote my wife a song, got it produced, called her in the middle of the night, used to do things. But I thought I was wrong. I cheated on her. I ridiculed her, and I truly took her, and I had no excuse to do the things I did to her, and decided that I will never be that man again. And after 3 months, a total of 5 months not together, we started semi-dating, and I moved back home. That did not mean that we were together. because it was only the start of rebuilding. Today, I'm a much happier man. I'm probably the happiest man in the world because she has accepted me back. And I learned a lot from the process. And I used to, I don't know, look at social media and see mental health awareness. You understand it because I know people that have depression. I know people that go through, have mental health issues. And I think if everyone is more self-aware of themselves and can spot the depression hitting you, it will save a lot of hurt and harm in your life. And I think people will not have to learn the lessons the hard way. And I still fight anxiety. I think if you can kill it as quickly as possible before it consumes you, like it did to me, it it is the best scenario. So some of the symptoms of depression are not enjoying things that you love. For example, I stopped watching football. I stopped being interested in anything that was a great hobby of mine. I wanted to sleep a lot. I would sleep in, sometimes to 9, 10, and I'm a guy that wakes up at 6 a.m. and I go walking, and then I start working and I start reading, and I'm a very positive guy. Um, Low moods, sadness. You feel sad. You feel like down. You feel like boom. Feeling hopeless sometimes and helpless. Having low self-esteem. Having no confidence sometimes. And one of the things that really, really hit me is sometimes I would just cry for no reason. I'd be in the car and start crying. And these are signs. There's a lot of other symptoms of depression, and I recommend to anyone to read up about it because it is something that we all need to be aware of and to understand it. And sometimes it's you don't see it coming, and maybe if your wife realizes, or they will help you out. So anyway, so if you feel anything of the above, you may be facing a degree of depression. Go check it out. Go to a psychiatrist. You can beat it. If you don't, it might take you places you don't want to go. But if you beat it, it is my recommendation. So I've taken the leap of faith now with my wife. My wife and I are working together on a couple of business projects. One of them is a cosmetic product, eyelash extensions with numerous accessories, and we're supplying to salons and lash technicians. We're also focusing on local and international businesses. We built the site from scratch. My wife developed the brand. It's her brainchild, and I'm so proud of her. It's a great quality product. She researched it for many years, and we brought it to life together. So a little bit about my wife. She has supported me through my worst times, and she's been by my side even though I did not deserve it. She taught me what true love is, and I am so grateful that she is in my life. We are a team, and we do everything together. That may be unconventional to many, but we are a great team. I've come to realize that life is too short, and I want to spend my life with someone that will be by my side to thick and thin. So my really, really an exciting journey ahead. We're working on this new cosmetic product, but I'm also going to be very active in the real estate industry. One of the passions I have is a passion for standards, a passion for training, and a passion for branding. And I will be coming up with a few products that will relate to the real estate business. And besides that, I'm brokering with clients. And I believe that sometimes when you have one agent dealing with both sides of the transaction, there can be a conflict of interest at times. I'm not saying that agents are not honest or trustworthy, because I know many agents that are, but unfortunately, there are the cowboy agents that are still running around Malta that will do anything to close a deal. And I'm going to be delivering I won't say a new service, but it's a service where I will be handling top tier clients, medium sized clients, and helping them through the process from the buyer side. So I will be dealing with the buyer side, and the agent that I choose will be dealing with the seller side, which really creates a very good combination, because in one case, I will be assisting the buyer or even the renter to negotiate the best price, and whereas the agent is helping the seller get the best price. So negotiations will definitely be better for both the buyer and the seller, because you find a happy medium. And at the end of the day, no one wants to get screwed on a real estate deal. Prices are what they are. It is probably the biggest investment that any couple or businessman will make, because I'm also doing residential and commercial real estate. And this is a very exciting time, and I will be creating and curating a lot of content on real estate, the buying process, what to look for, what not to look for, and how I will be dealing with you as my client. If you're interested in contacting me, just DM me or send me a message or comment in the comment box, and I'll be very, very happy to work with you and help you close your deal and find you the best property. I have an abundance of experience, 25 years. Like I said, I was an agent in the beginning. I understand who are the most professional agents, and I know who aren't. And I can assure you that I will definitely find you the best agent that will represent the seller, and I will always represent you as the buyer and give you the best advice. But I can assure you I have abundance of experience, and I'm here to help customers find their way. And I'm also going to be assisting agents to become more brand aware, to build their confidence when dealing with buyers, and to create more business for them. So I'll be working in products will be coming out soon, and it will be great to keep in touch with you guys. I hope this video helps you understand more about the context of what I've been through. Maybe you might have learned a lesson about how things can hit you and how to fight back, because I really had to fight back. I had to change my way of thought. I had to change entirely my become a man, a more mature person, and I'm very proud that I am where I am, confident. And anyway, thank you very much, and see you next time.